Good morning. And it is another good morning. It's a lovely day here in the Catskill Mountains. It's 50 degrees outside, 100% overcast and damp. Yesterday I did another pour and I did not video it. You're welcome. But I thought I'd give you an update because today is a bigger day and I'll get into that in a second. I just wanted to show you where I came up. I raised the level of the pond a little bit more. It's just about even here, a little surface tension. And on this side, she went over a little bit. Um, and here it's a little short. So still a little unevenness here up at the top. This is still not covered, but right here is, that's about where the level is. So I got a little unevenness in the table. This thing kind of moves because, well, it does. That's the way it is. Yesterday, before I did this pour, I removed all of the tape because I had some embedded tape, inclusions I call them, and I wanted to get that all squared away, so I cleaned that out. I did a little sanding in here where the epoxy ended last time, and let me fix this too while I'm here. So that's done, and then I retaped the whole thing after I cleaned it thoroughly with a heavy washing coat of mineral spirits to get the thing cleaned up. Then I did the pour, and I left it the rest of the day and did other stuff. Now this morning, we're ready to do the goal here, and this is the reason I'm doing a little intro video, is I just got done giving this a quick light wipe down again with mineral spirits, even though nothing's happened in the shop since I cleaned it last time. But any little particles of dust that are on the table will float to the top of the epoxy, and that's not good. It gives you these little dots, and I got one or two here and I'm not too worried about. There is no way for me to pick them up on the camera. They're minuscule. They're smaller than fly specks, but they do make an optical appearance. So I just wiped this down again, and here, if you take a look at the paper towel I used, you can see little discoloration from very fine, whoops, very fine, you can see my fingerprints in there a little bit. Very minuscule amounts of sawdust. So it's all wiped down now. I'm going to mix up a bunch of epoxy, and the goal here is to, sorry about that finger, is to put a primer coat, a thin, very thin coat, just to cover everything. See if there's any more areas that it soaks in, and get those so that they're fully saturated, and cover the whole thing. Now with the excess that I have from covering the top, I will push it down into the pond and bring all those levels up, see what we can do about this down here. So the whole thing will get covered. Then I can wait a day at least and start sanding and bring it all down so that all I have is a clean surface again that's flat or relatively flat. And then I can do my final coat. But I don't think I'm going to do my final coat until the legs are on the bottom of the table. I want to do the top last. So I also anticipate that I will have a little bit of problem in here because this is just a little bit lower. But we'll see what happens. So I'm going to probably have to do a reassessment when I get that poured and it cures up and we see how it goes. Because you can see on this side here, it's just dead even, but not breaking over the edge at all. Here, this is all flowing over. So I do have just a tiny bit of, and I messed with the level on it, trying to tweak it a little bit, but it's difficult. There's a tiny little bit of twist and a tiny little bit of crown in the top. So we're going to see what happens. But once I get pouring, I'm not going to mess around with the cameras or anything. So I wanted to give you the intro now, and when I come back, we're going to jump right into it. Back in a little bit. Okay, once again you catch me mixing, and we're just going to get into this real quick. Get most of this in the cup. For some reason that camera doesn't seem to have a very good angle on it, or a good focus. Lay this down here for now, just in case I need it again. Okay. Now again, I want this to be thin. I'm not looking for a flood coat. And I just want to get every piece of bare wood covered. Trying very hard not to run over the tape. That makes it tough to get the tape out when I go to remove it. Here I did everywhere else. Kind of push a little in here. There we go. Push that over the side a little bit, because it's going to go there anyway. This epoxy is thick, but it will, over a period of hours, run out and find its own level like water will. So, I'm going to go in here, pour some more in here, try and get this to come up. Maybe a little bit too much there. Okay, we'll move it out here. Get this to come up. And this top is going to be all blotchy. And when I say blotchy, I'll have to show you when I get done with the epoxy here. It's going to have lumps and stuff. It's just the nature of the beast. But that's okay, because the plan is to sand. Come back around. A little more in here. Trying to lump it up in the pond area so that it finds a level in that pond and then spreads out from there. Anything outside the pond is going to be sanded flat, and then the pond itself will just get a light sanding. Now I'm taking a look. One camera can see me, the other one can't. I can see some spots that soaked in. I really wish you could see this on the camera, but there's just no way all the reflections allow for it. You can see I keep twisting my head around and bending one way or the other. looking at different angles and that's good. Hey, you know what? That's not bad, people. That is not bad. Yeah, a little thin down here. A little bit more. Now it's still clean this up a little bit. Too much on the scraper. All right. Set this right here for a second. Keep an eye on that, would you? Oops, paper towel. My fingers are icky. I don't want to transfer the ickiness to my torch. Now I take this torch. And the torch, hope you can hear me. The torch will help, as we said in the previous video, take the bubbles out, but it also heats the material and the wood up, thins out the epoxy a little bit and lets it flow. So those lumps that I have, I can minimize those quite a bit. You have to look really close to so, yeah, there's one little, I hate to do this, but I'm gonna just take a stick and see if I can, there we go, smooth that out a little bit. And even after years, 2 years of filling every little hole that I found in the wood, I still find a couple of spots where, like this one, there's a crack and it's sucking down some. And that's why we do this, find the cracks and get them filled in. I'm gonna have to, oops, put this down, put that down, pick this up, and I'm gonna do a dribble right there on that spot. Now when this cures, I'll have a lump there, but that's okay. Little lumps like that come right out. No one. I'd rather do this than get it all done and find out stuff afterwards. Suck it down to this lab, a little unseen crack, and I got it back in the spot. Pour again, maybe another 12, 18 hours to cure up. So you gotta take time to look at everything. Oh, yeah. Oh, I love you too. Let me see if there's anything else. I lost out here. There's one thing. Here we go. There's no one. How nice. They'll get all the way. Oh, no matter how careful you are, you still miss some of these little things. That's just it. More. Last time I worked on something, right, 9 years ago. So, if any of these ones here and here. That's what it takes. And looking pretty good. So I have got, I don't know if you can see it, I'll wiggle it a little bit, a couple of ounces left. I'll run it upstairs, dump it on those other projects, we'll move them along, count that one as like a freebie, and there you have it. We'll catch you next time, folks. If you want, I notice people aren't, probably gave up watching, but you can follow the playlist, and then every time I add something to the playlist, it'll show up, and you can choose to ignore it at that time. What is that? Another air bubble. Or if you're a real glutton for punishment, go right ahead and click like on the channel, and you will get the notifications. I don't really make many videos, but this is an unusual project, and I thought that for future reference I would save it somehow. So this is it, and some people seem to be following along, so trying to keep you up to date. So this is, again, it's not a finished coat by any means. It's a starter upper, and we'll see how it comes out looking, and we'll go from there. So I'll see you in the next video. Right now this one should be episode 14. Good Lord, if you've got this far, good for you. And we'll catch you on the next one. Again, all my stuff is on woodsmanforestproducts.com. And I want to do a quick shout out again to some of the guys on the forestry forum that are following this along and helping me out with advice as I see things and I complain about problems I'm having. They always come up with good ideas. So we'll keep moving along. And guys, looking forward to seeing you all next week down in Georgia. I can't wait. So, see you later. Okay, faked you out. It was just a few seconds ago I was here and said goodbye until the next episode. I lied. It is now 5.5 hours since I did that pour. So this is still very tacky, somewhat soft, but I wanted to show you what I meant by you can't tell what's going to happen hours after the pour. I just, well, in your timeline a few seconds ago, walked around the edges and showed you what we had. But now it's 5.5 hours later. As soon as I finished this pour in the video and I cleaned the spatula and stuff I didn't throw out, I got a call from an arborist friend, and I ran out and just got home with about 40 mushroom logs. Strike while the iron is hot. He was taking down hazard trees, and it was good hickory, so down she came, and I just got home. So here's what happened. Can you see how this, right, let's see, right about there, there's a line that goes around. That's the flow over from me overfilling the pond. So here it's running over the edges. Go up here, if I can get out of the glare, and right there you can see where it did not go over the edge because, again, of this little crown in the table and whatnot. Man, I got double sets of reflections. Let me try this from a different direction and see. I have to be very careful not to touch this, but I am overflowed all the way around here. All of that is covered completely, but see that spot right there, just about in the middle, it didn't go over the edge. So I'm getting these little waves up and down, up and down. You know, this is the way the wood moves, and with this, you know, let's back up a minute and realize this was half of a split crotch on a double trunk tree. This is where the two barks came together and it parted. So there's a lot of growth stress in here, and that just moves forever. Well, not forever, but too long for me. So, you know, that's the way it came out. So the table, in general, here I'll use the reflection off the windows. You can see how flat that looks. Yeah, you see a little wave once in a while. Look here, where is it? Right about there. There's a little bit of a reflection that tells you an issue right about there. You know, this is very difficult to get on a camera. There's what looks like a dry spot here. That's where it's soaked into the wood. And there's a couple of those right around here where it mostly soaked into the wood. And this is all good. I will give this a sand, and we'll probably leave it at that point until I get the legs on it, because I don't want to finish the top and then flip it over and have to rest on that top surface while I'm working on the other side, drilling holes, putting in inserts, lining things up, maybe banging a little bit here and there. So, you know, it's pretty much going to stay the way it is. Yeah, maybe I'll lie and wind up. Also, I can see, can you see? Yeah, right. See where the reflection of that light is? See just above it? Dot, dot, dot. It looks like another dot there. Those are, I don't know, kind of looks like little bubbles. They'll get all sanded out. So anyway, I just wanted to follow up and show you what happens 5 hours after the epoxy is poured, and I wasn't here to address it at all. Not that there was much I would have done. Now, this time I'm really going away for sure, and you can see me in the next video. Thanks for watching.